I'm so proud of my achievement. So I hope you guys, what you do as well now, you're so proud of it. First time that I set up my agency, a municipal license. So it's not incorporated at the time. So because you're just new in the business, so you don't have applicants yet, and then you don't have employer yet, right? So but I have few contacts in Hong Kong that if you wanna try to come to Canada, I give them a deal. So I let them come here, like fly now, pay later. So that I want to prove them that this is legit and I can find an employer. So I have, at the time, I have few applicants. You know, I try my friends, my best friends, to help them to come here. Our agency fee, fly now, pay later. So we can pay us monthly at the time. That was 2004. So it's already 16 years. Until now, I'm still running an agency. Yay! How to do? Where I started. Thanks God, Google is here. So I do all the research in Google. Everything is Google. Until now, it's Google. So after my licensing, yeah, everything's there in place. And my friends in Hong Kong to come to apply to me. So I provide everything with the requirements. It was very easy at the time. So, you know, through only my experience, this is what I'm helping them. So yeah, this is the beginning of my journey in Canada, being a nanny and turned into a businesswoman. I'm so proud of my achievement. So I hope you guys, what you do as well now, you're so proud of it. So just only a disclaimer, guys. I am not an immigration consultant, okay? I employed immigration consultant and to do all my paperwork. So I'm just dealing with the employer, and then once we get hired a nanny, so I endorse to our consultant to process all the papers. Now I have already the applications in my hand with all my friends in Hong Kong. The next challenge is how to get a Canadian employer. You know, it's the competition is here. So compared to very new, just a day old, you know, agency, and then compared to how many years in business, right? So you need to find ways to sell your service to them. We need to have a build trust, how you convince the family or the Canadian employer to, you know, use you being their agency to bring a nanny from overseas. Newspaper, I put my advertisement there. They contacted me, so I met them, brochures, so to show them. But the only thing, the problem is, you know, the family references. I cannot give to a family references because I don't have an employer yet. To be honest with you, if you're gonna hire these nannies, you know, one of our nanny here, one of the profile, you are my first employer, first client. And he said, huh? How could, and he said, how could I trust you? You just new in this business. And I said, sir, yes, if you trust me, just only based on my experience. I was a nanny, so I know the experience in Hong Kong, how to deal with government there, because I've been through in this system. So right now I just use my knowledge, my experience, right? How to process a nanny. I can guide them overseas, and then here in local, I know also how to process, because I you know, like about my employer, and also the requirements are in the website. It's very easy. This is the only thing you need. The LMO application before, it's very easy. It's only 5 pages, guys. Okay, and before, hindi ito centralized. Now it's centralized application with the LMIA. It's in Toronto. Before, during my time, just only here in Cambridge, which is, you know, like Tri-City, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge area. With the Service Canada, That's only office. So it's just only like 15 days your application approved. As long as you completed the documents, easy the approval. You just have a phone call. Okay, they have a little bit interview with the employer that this is legit application. I said yes, I'm gonna hire a nanny from overseas. There you go, get approved. To make it short, yes, I convinced them. I really convinced them that, sir, please give me a chance. Please trust me. I will prove you that the application is gonna be go through. But nakakabahan din ako, right? So they said, how could I trust you that when I'm talking to different agencies, it costs like almost 6 months the processing time, and then so much so much complications. And I said to them, sir, and every agencies have different rules. For me, is I let them fly without payment because kasi bago nga, di ba? So ginagawa ko lahat. Look like I let them fly for free. Basta lang maka-start ako ng business dito, okay? I'll do everything para lang makalipad dito. Meron ako yung isang nanny nga wala talaga siyang pera pang bili ng ticket. I'm the one who buy a ticket for her. And then sabi ko, bayaran mo na lang bago kasweldo ka. Basta lang makarating ka dito na I will prove these employers na everything my agency is legit and everything I can do, like professionally. So yes guys, I proved them. So at the time, 2004, sa akin guys, less than 3 months. Approve kagad ang visa niya. So I let her fly right away. Okay, you have a visa, lipad ka kaagad. And then, I let the employer, surprise all them, and I said, sir, your nanny received her visa and she's ready to fly anytime. Says, huh? Sabi, are you serious? Yes, I am serious. Your nanny. So I have a proof. Kanya pinapicturean ko, naka-attach na sa passport. Sabi ko, ito na yung nanny mo, may visa na siya, naka-attach na. So yan, shock sila. Room is not ready yet. And I said, don't worry, she can stay in our house. So that's my first employer. And then, so they're happy my service because I proved them that I can bring the nanny just less than 3 months. Because they're my first employer, I give them a deal, the agency fee from the employer side. I gave them half, a 50% discount. And I said, the half, just pay me half so that I can pay my gas, but the half is just for a reference. If I have another employer, please, can I use you being my family references? I said, sure, why not? I'm so happy what you did to me. Word of mouth is very effective. So, yeah. So every time I have a client, I said, can you give me 2 or 3 family references? Of course. They have a name, I have a number, so I give to them. So they are the one who talk each other, employer. So they are happy with my services. Hey, I got your name from this family who use your agency. I'm so happy at the time. I receive a call again. I received this employer who are very happy with your services. Can you help me to find a nanny? Since then, guys, I'm so blessed that at that year, I'm so my agency is booming with nannies. So yeah, I'm so happy that all the nannies that I place them here and there, they are also successful here in Canada. So very rewarding, helping people is a human, like me, have a big dreams to come to Canada, right? And then, kasi marami kong naririnig na naloloko sa mga agency, kinukuhanan lang ng pera, tapos wala namang employer or a real employer na madatnan nila dito sa Canada. So this business is like a personalized, I personally involved, the hiring process, interview them, placing to the employer, set up the interviews. So, I don't want to take advantage or I don't want to take for granted that I have an agency and was in their shoe. Because, going to Canada without any family, or there's a family but very far. So you need to have, open arms to them, right? You are to be like welcome, and also like be friendly to them, because this nanny who are happy with your services, for sure they will refer, like they will recommend you to their family or to their friends, you know, hey, apply in this agency, dito ako nang galing sa kanila, okay naman ang service nila. So yeah, so I have a recommendations like that, a word of mouth between the nanny and the employer. So this is what I'm doing right now, you know, word of mouth. I don't have any more you know, advertising in, you know, the newspaper, because most now, you know, in millennials no need the, you know, the newspapers, most of the internet. So I have very good web designer, Jen. She's really good in my website since day one till now. She has a really good job there. For this caregiver program, guys, you know, it's changing a lot since when I started 2004. Changes slowly. Since 2014, there are lots of changes in caregiver program. In the employer side, about accommodation, they are not obligated to be a live-in. In 2014, they closed the LCP caregiver program and they changed into a new pathways, which divided into two categories: caring for children program, and two, caring for people with high medical needs. And then yeah, so there's a lot of changes, so a little bit harder and harder this program. And then after that, and then they changed again. Last June 2019, they launched again another new home child care provider pilot, and second one is home support worker pilot. So the changes, binago nila guys ang mga requirements sa nanny. So before is at least 72 units in college or universities, okay, and equivalent in Canada is high school. And now we required 3 years in college or university. So the same program, but only name is changing. So only name ay nagbabago. But for this program, the housekeepers are not included in this program, in this category. Before ka mag-apply, going to Canada, you need to comply all of these requirements. Okay? Either through, like, either by yourself or through an agency. You need to comply this before applying to Canada. Being a nanny or a caregiver, you need to take IELTS. Okay? What is IELTS? Is the International English Language Test System. For your education, you need to go in this site, WES, www.wes.org. That's called World Education Services. Okay? Diyan kayo magpa-assess sa education nyo. In the Philippines, in our education sa Pilipinas, pagdating dito sa Canada, equivalent na 1 year post-secondary education. So sa Pilipinas, 3 years in college or university. You don't have a diploma, basta naka 3 years in college ka, tapos magpa-evaluate ka sa WES, and then diyan mo malalaman if you are qualified or accepted to come to Canada being a nanny or caregiver. Kasi diyan natin i-base kung qualified kayo, kasi ngayon is mag-apply kayo going sa Canada. Ano na ngayon? It's very nice. The system is matagal lang ang application, dahil ngayon is when you apply to come to Canada being a nanny, they are initially reviewed to be a permanent resident. That is why medyo matagal-tagal na application ngayon. Okay? Kasi we want to make sure that your education is qualified, your English test, you know, all your credentials, everything is intact before we submit it to the government, to the immigration, para pag initial review nila na you become a resident once you arrive here. But before you qualified to apply for permanent residence, you need to work at least 24 months dyan sa employer mo, kung sino nag-sponsor sa'yo. Okay? For this new changes, guys, it's the same requirements, but only the name they change. So for this program, you need to have valid job offer from the Canadian employer. CLB5 language level, okay? So that's the IELTS. You need to have 1 year post-secondary education, okay, Canada. 3 years in college in the Philippines. And then the admissibility. So make sure that you don't have any other, or you don't have any criminal records where the country you're coming from. For these changes, guys, there's no LMIA application now if the employer will hire an overseas caregiver. For example, you are in Hong Kong, the only thing we will give you is the job offer from the Canadian employer. So we will assist you for that. For us, an agency, it's kind of a little bit better for this system, and because less application to the government if you would like to hire from overseas. No LMIA, we just give the nanny or the overseas Filipino worker a job offer. Okay, so valid job offer that we can give the Canadian employer to you. When the Canadian employer found a nanny locally that they are in transition, yes, definitely we need to apply the LMIA, follow the procedure. First, we need to advertise for 4 weeks onward until we are approved from the government our application. So before, guys, the Canadian employer, we will apply for LMIA, whether they will hire a nanny from local that already in Canada or a nanny from overseas. So we need an LMIA. But because of these changes, it's just only a job offer for your caregiver from overseas. Okay, so the LMIA is just only for here in Canada. Since last year, June 2019, the applicant can apply for work permit and initial permanent residency in Canada application. So we can put together with that. We need to submit the application here in Canada. So the downside is the processing time. It takes a year. So that's the hard part for both the employer and the nanny, because 1 year processing time. We had applications now we submitted to the government, but until now we haven't received any updates or news from this application. So yeah, natingga, hindi natin alam kung anong nangyayari, but at least we submitted already because of this pandemic, guys, right? Slowly, but they don't close their office, but just a slowly process. My agency is already incorporated. Make sure we are safe and legit here in Canada. And people, if they're asking you, are you a legit agency? Yes, of course we are legit. We are established since 2004 until now. So, and then if you are in Hong Kong, I have also a partnership there. Her name is Tiza, and she also my partner since day one in my agency until now. So we are really in business, and she is very reliable, professional, the way she deal with applicants. That's the most important. We deal with clients with professionalism. So I would like to overview my what I'm saying here about the changes in Canada and what are the requirements. Since day one with this caregiver program, it's not really big changes with the requirements, almost the same. The only additional are the the IELTS, walang IELTS noon, at saka yung evaluation of your education, so yung ECA, additional requirements from the nanny side. So the employer is just only the LMIA. Before is LMO, naging change to LMIA, LMIA, and now is job offer if you would like to hire a nanny from overseas. So hopefully we can see you in Canada.